everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I have a bit of a different build for you. Today we have a branded Dark Magician. So this obviously has the Fallen of Albaz package in it, as well as the Dragoon package. So I figured I'd put two and two together because it's a dragon effect monster, Dragoon plus Dark Magician, or this plus Dark Magician mixed Dragoon. And Branded Fusion is one of the best fusion spells ever printed, really. Branded are really good in the current format of Kashtira, Tearlaments, sprites, etc. Because Branded's really good at board wiping, popping stuff with Chimera and things like that. But this is a more budget version, but more budget friendly, I should say. All you need for this is the Dark Magician core, so that's the staples like Magician's Souls, Illusion of Chaos, Dragoon, Rod, and 3 copies of the Albaz structure deck. So that will run you about 100 GBP to my knowledge, given the fact that Illusion of Chaos is about 40 GBP each. You can play without, but it's highly recommended that you play 2 at the very least. I play 2, and I think 2 is the good ratio. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So starting with the monsters, we have our double copy of the Ultimate Wizard in terms of attack and defense, Dark Magician. This is your main combo piece, besides from Albaz. Gets you to Dragoon, Dragon Knight, the Dark Magicians, pretty much all your fusion cards, and it's definitely one of the staples. Obviously, you can't play a Dark Magician deck without Dark Magician. Then you've got double copy of Illusion of Chaos. This is hidden here for the same reason. Gets you to all your combo pieces, gets you to Magician's Souls, Magician's Rod, Timaeus, Dark Magician Girl if you really want. It's very good, very versatile, and it just shuffles itself back after its job is done, so it's brilliant. And speaking of which, we have triple copy of Magician's Souls. This card is, not even arguably, it is the best card in the deck. It gets you the bricks out of the deck, it gives you 2 draw power, and it's a level 1, so it's versatile for link plays, fusion plays, because it's Dark Spellcaster. So it can be used for pretty much everything in the extra deck, which is very good. Then moving on, we have a triple copy of Magician's Rod. Magician's Rod is a very good card. Gets you a free Dark Magician spell trap on summon, and can recycle itself. Also very good for link plays, link climbing. Very good versatile card. The only downside is it's a hard once per turn and you have to normal summon it. But apart from that, it is very, very good. And then lastly, for our Dark Magician core, we have 1 copy of Dark Magician Girl. This is for Magician's Souls plays and for Magician's Salvation. And Soul Servant, because you get more draw power for having 2 instead of 1. So that's it for the Dark Magician section of the monsters. So let's move on to the Fallen of Albaz branded section. So starting, we have 2 copies of Fallen of Albaz. I think this is pretty standard for most branded decks, because you can just search it out with something like Aluba if you're playing that, which this version is not, because I said it's strictly from the structure deck. Fallen of Albaz is pretty much just Super Poly on legs. It's very good, very versatile, and you can use it with Branded Fusion, all that good stuff. It's a very good card. And then into the fusion support, we have triple copy of Bestial Baldrake. You can banish your opponent's combo pieces, and it's a dragon effect monster. It's dark, what more do you want? Very good versatile card, and a very good budget option if you don't have money for Magnum Saranir, or the other one I'm blanking on. Jerusalem, that's it, Jerusalem. So yeah, it's a good budget card for if you don't have like £60 lying around for the full Bestial core, because it has the same summon effect, it's just not as good as Magnum. Then the last dragon is Timaeus. It's just Poly on legs. It's very good, very versatile. Again, can be used in Branded Fusion, can be used to just make Dragoon with this effect. Very good card, very versatile. I give it a solid, 7 out of 10. And then that does it for the fusion section. So lastly, apart from these 6 cards, not 6, yes 6, we have 2 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. If you asked me a week ago if Ash Blossom was included in this deck, I would have said no. But given the fact that Kashtira falls under any kind of negate because it's something they lack, I would say play Ash Blossom over Draw this format, because Draw was good against Tears, Ash Blossom is good against Kashtira. That is pretty much the only meaning of it. Moving on to the spells now. We have our triple copy of Soul Servant. This card gets you pretty much any Dark Magician card in the deck. That includes Circle, Salvation, Mag Souls, Illusion of Chaos, Magician's Rod, everything. and it also is the draw power card. If you have both Magicians in grave, it's just Pot of Greed. It is fantastic, and it pairs very well with Dark Magical Circle, which we play at 1. The reason we play this at 1 is because you can search it off this, off of Rod, and off of pretty much any searchable card in the deck. So this you pair with this, and it's a very good combination. Then we have 1 copy of Secrets of Dark Magic. It's just a quick play fusion spell, good for OTKs, good for, say, if they like Dark Hole you or something, you can just make a fusion monster, or if they try to, I don't know, Fallen of Albaz you or something, I don't know. And then 1 copy of Magician's Salvation. It's basically an extra copy of Eternal Soul, and you can bring back 2 bodies instead of 1 with Eternal Soul. So that about does it for the Dark Magician section, so let's move on to the branded / staples. Okay, so starting with branded, we have a triple copy of Branded Fusion. Pretty much your main combo fusion card. Gets you to straight to the point, you know, Branded Fusion. Dump Albaz and Dark Magician, make Lebellion into Dragoon. That's kind of the whole combo. Very good. And then keeping on with the fusion spells, we've got triple Super Poly. Good for your Super Poly targets, good for making Dragoon if you're against a Dragon deck, for example. And generally a very good card to have just in case. It actually really clutched up for me the other day. I'll tell that story in a little bit. Then 1 copy Instant Fusion. You can use this for 2 cards in the deck. Mud Dragon or Millenniumize. Millenniumize is just to stop Ash, stop hand traps, and Mud Dragon is just there for Super Poly, really. But you can summon it with Instant Fusion if you really want to. And then lastly, 2 copies of Prep of Rights, just to get you that Illusion of Chaos when you desperately need it. Good for searching generally, and Branded Fusion combined with Illusion of Chaos can get you full combo. So that's it for the spells, so let's move on to the traps. We have a triple copy of Ice Dragon's Prison. It's a very good Ice Dragon's Prison, because it can summon pretty much any card from your opponent's graveyard, and then on top of that banish 2 cards. So if they summon a card to their field and then you summon the same card from their graveyard, you can banish both. It's very good. And then 2 copies of Eternal Soul, just gets you back to your main combo piece again and again and again. And if you combine it with Dragon Knight or Dragoon, you can protect it. The only downside to this card is its downside is horrible. It pops your entire board if it leaves the field while it's face up. Very bad, but also, you know, fair trade-off for a free level 7 body each turn. And then lastly, 1 copy of Skill Drain. I played 2 more in the side. These are currently sided in. But Skill Drain I would opt to play over Ice Dragon's Prison, but this is just how I had the deck and how I was playing it over Branded. But Skill Drain is very good, and that would just about wrap it up for the traps. So let's move on to the extra deck. The extra deck is shuffled, it's in no particular order, so we'll go just as we go. So 1 Dragoon, Omni Negate, pretty much your boss monster, very good card. Predaplant Drago, to be honest, it's just your generic Super Poly target, very good. 2 Mirror Jades, it's a non-target banish, which is phenomenal. And it also just, you can summon it with Branded Fusion very, very easily. So, yeah. Then 1 copy Dragon Knight, protects your back row, and becomes Dark Magician while it's on the field or in the grave, so it works with Eternal Soul. So if you get this loop going, first turn you pretty much won, because they can't do anything to your back row. Then 1 copy of the Dark Magicians, same kind of principle. If it gets popped, you summon both your materials back. You get a free draw for each turn, and if it draws into a quick play or a trap, you can set it and you can activate it that turn, which is phenomenal. Then we have 1 copy of Lebellion and 1 copy of Albion, just for Branded Fusion sort of things and Mirror Jade's effect to get more Branded Fusions out of the deck with Albion. Then 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, just another generic Super Poly target. Then Millenniumize Restrict, just to stop your hand traps, and Mud Dragon for Super Poly. And then if they just so happen to activate D-Barrier on, I don't know, Branded Fusion or something, you have your Link Climb. So you've got 1 Access Code, 1 Selene, 1 Dark Charmer, and 1 Artemis. Just in case you're in a pickle and you need these, but you can't summon these. So that would about wrap it up for this deck profile. I really hope you enjoyed it. And let me know any suggestions in the comments that you might have about this deck and how I can improve it. But that would just about do it. So thank you very, very much for watching. Make sure to like the video if you are new, and subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content, because I do plan to extend this on a little bit. So thank you very, very much, and I'll see you later. Bye.